Good day, everyone. It's Calxiyn and Hunter here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should subscribe. Subscribe for more RWBY videos. Become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel, to get videos early. Follow us over on social media to make me happy, to boost my ego. Anyway,
Lord knows you need more of that.
We are going to talk about the Aesops today. So somebody tried to escape on a technicality and say that the Aesops didn't really betray Team RWBY because they were never with Team RWBY to begin with. But fuck you, we're doing this video anyway. Okay, so it's basically who will side, who will not side. I think that we should go easiest to hardest.
There is RWBY and there is Ironwood. And there is a lot of different people in Atlas. Not only the Aesops, but also I think we need to consider Winter and we need to consider Penny.
Yeah, sure.
And
we'll talk about that.
who will align with who.
So let's go easiest to hardest,
yes,
okay?
Okay?
Marrow is definitely going to be like, I'm not about this shit.
He seems
almost guarantee. I would, again, so we're going to use the Calxiyn system of measurement. Do you know what that is? That is betting money, okay? I would bet someone $100 that Marrow is going to be like, you know, I don't want to do this. Stay. Team RWBY, run while you still can. I'll hold them off because I'm a good boy. You know what I'm saying?
And
I'm a good friend.
here's our reasoning behind it. The reason why we think Elm, Vine, and Harriet will attack RWBY in that scene...
Well, Elm said... Or wait, Hare said, we have no friends, fuck you. Elm said, sometimes you have to follow orders without thinking. Vine seems to be like, well... You can't, like, you can't do it. You can't do the battle to win the war. You know what I'm saying?
They seem very much so...
They're already on Ironwood's side. They're not going to change their minds.
Like, this isn't personal. It's I follow orders and I don't consider the morality or my loyalty to my friends. Because we're not friends. We're in a business. Marrow, on the other hand...
has been like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? Like, that's Salem? Like, he's just not...
Not only that, but even earlier, it's the idea that, like, he likes us because, like, it's like... Because he's all like sundry and shit. And he's wagging his tail. And he's right, I totally forgot that he shared the coffee with John.
That's cute.
So I get the impression that unlike the rest of the Aesops, he kind of likes Team RWBY and is more willing to less blindly follow Ironwood and consider their side. And he's also
seen Team RWBY like try to save people and stuff. You know what I mean? Like what happened at the rally and sort of all of that like subsequent and like following. You know what I mean? Like Marrow has seen Team RWBY more as people, and so I feel like Marrow is also gonna come into conflict because he's not comfortable with this. He's like, I think Team RWBY's kind of right. Maybe we don't abandon the people of Mantle. Like, just an idea.
They make it pretty obvious, especially because he's the one to talk about, like, faunus. He's the only faunus there, so he's aware of, like, social inequalities and maybe how
talked about that, too. You know, it's like, we're not here to discuss this, but then as the volume progresses, like, Marrow's gone through a character
revolutionary
development arc.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, he's gone through a lot of, like, change, even though he's just a side character, and I'm really impressed with how they sort of done that. So I think that he will
become a revolutionary.
Stay! Team RWBY! You guys gotta get out of here! Go save the world,
Your stay idea is excellent.
I know, I'm a genius.
The idea, like, you can just, like, that they're, like, a really tense moment. I kind of want Team RWBY and the Aesops to fight at least a little bit. A little bit, because I just think that it would be really interesting to see.
Okay. I would just rather skip that shit and then have them run away. So Marrow, open and shut. The other Aesops, open and shut. So, Clover.
No, Emerald, so you're saying...
Elm, Vine, and Hare...
Bad. Ironwood.
Yeah. Ironwood
Marrow,
is kind of synonymous
RWBY.
with bad today.
Okay, now...
Clover.
Yes.
Okay, Clover is a complicated situation because every time I talk about Clover, somebody blocks me on Twitter, is what I was trying to say. So, here's the thing. Okay, I don't know anymore. I'm so confused about Clover, like, as a character, and that's not because of the writers, it's just because, you know when the fandom gets sort of hooked on an idea, and they sort of, you know, like, the Atlas Ball, or the shopping montage, for Clover, it's like, I don't know, like, the animators were like, yeah, making that stuff as gay as possible, Crow's new boyfriend, here you go. Like, they were joking around, but what if Clover's not gonna be interested in Crow like that, you know what I mean?
Also, like, he can be arrested and still be a gay character, and they could have still had a thing.
I'm just saying,
know.
like, in terms of, like, okay, because people are like, well, obviously Clover's gonna side with Crow because they're boyfriends, and I'm like, well, I don't know, are they? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Initially, it looked like they were...
I'm just getting worried that the fandom idea is influencing my judgment instead of just what we've looked at the show. Because he has been loyal to Ironwood, and he has had nice moments with Crow.
And his little character card says he's very loyal to Atlas, and I think also Ironwood.
Yeah.
But then again, Atlas and Ironwood might not be the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be interesting if being loyal to Atlas isn't the same as being loyal to Ironwood.
Yes.
Right? But it's sort of like, I don't know, Clover was sort of iffy on trusting Robin and sort of like gave her a tough time and all that. And like, I don't know,
how I interpret it.
Will this be a rift in Crow and Clover's relationship? I just think, like, nothing is interesting without a little conflict, okay? Just a little conflict. Give them a little conflict, right? I don't think that's bad. But at this point, I'm sort of just like, does Clover like Crow enough? Because he was like, your niece is something special. Remember how he said that? I think that would be more evidence to Clover actually siding with Team RWBY, because he can see maybe something in RWBY that is different compared to, like, Ironwood, right? So actually, like, thinking about that, I would lean more to Clover siding with Crow. I've convinced myself.
Because I don't know, because on one hand...
Robin's also, like, pissed,
Robin
right?
and Crow are, like, angry about this.
Clover
looks surprised, and then I don't know if he's resignated or sad. Tyrion thinks it's hilarious, so I think Tyrion spots that there's more tension there.
Yeah.
I think in the
end they may fight about it, but Clover could be convinced by Crow.
Yeah. I think that they might fight. I feel like if Crow and Robin versus Clover, I think Clover would lose, but also Tyrion would probably get away in the ensuing, like, fight, and then he's loose in Atlas.
Why didn't they kill Tyrion?
I also think that if Crow and Robin are captured, that they'll be captured for a time, and then it'll be...
You mean they're also arrested?
Yeah, they're arrested because of their connections to RWBY, but for a time, Clover will look to be okay with it until Clover busts him out of prison.
Right.
I think that it might go a little there where there is a bit of a scuffle where he's, like, considering things. And that's what I'm going against. It's not the idea, like, it's boring if they're just... I mean, it's interesting already that that Clover has helped Crow grow, but it would be even more interesting if Crow... I think that would surprise people if he helps Clover grow as a person, and think that maybe he doesn't have to be for Ironwood, and that loyalty to Atlas and loyalty to Underwood are not the same thing.
You keep calling him Underwood.
I said Ironwood.
No, you didn't. You said Underwood again.
Underwood is a character from the Netflix House of Cards. I don't know. Anyway. I'm just dumb. Don't listen to me.
Penny and Winter.
Penny?
Oh, wait. We were supposed to bet money on everyone. Clover, I would bet like $50. That's how confident I am in him.
So you think Clover... I think Clover's going to go initially Ironwood, then RWBY.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
And I think Tyrion's going to break out. But
I wouldn't bet money on that. I mean, I think he is going to break 50. Out, but, like, I'm just saying Clover's alignment, yes.
Now, Penny.
50. Penny. I think that Penny, I would say Penny's like 80%. Okay, like, or $80 to RWBY, yes. Okay. Because similar to Marrow, there have been character hints in the past of her being like, why can't I do the things I want and the things I have to do? Ironwood won't let me have any friends. And so I feel like what we talked about in the analysis yesterday is really good, that, you know, RWBY will, or Penny will be like, well, we gotta go help RWBY, and Winter will be like, right?
I don't know if we should do that.
Because I think that Winter will be conflicted, but I also feel like
we can go to Winter
and we'll get to
afterwards.
Winter in a minute, I guess. But yeah, I feel like Penny will definitely go to help Team RWBY.
Penny might also be on the Clover train of, like, not knowing quite what to do.
I think Penny has more of a connection with RWBY, though, that she would say, fuck Ironwood.
I also, on the team of Fuck Ironwood, which we haven't really... I think it would be a terribly sad moment if Penny has to, like, put down Team RWBY for a moment, and then later she comes around to it. What I think could be really good is that you have... my goodness, I forget his poor name, because he doesn't... Penny's dad. I forget his poor name. Pietro, my god, thank you. Pietro, like, sits Penny down and is like, you know, what's more important than a boss? A friend.
Aww, that's cute!
I didn't think you would like that line that I just improv.
That's
And then, like, maybe Pietro, who decides to be hard anti-Ironwood. Because I feel like we'd agree that Pietro's
what the fuck are Pietro and Maria doing?
I feel like Pietro would be anti-Ironwood because he's always had one foot in Mantle, 1 foot...
And he's always been sort of like, well, Ironwood's a little scared.
So I think that he would be Team RWBY, and I feel like he would convince Penny, and to an extent, Penny would help Clover bust them out of prison.
I think that works. I do think that Penny will have a more immediate, like, well, I'm gonna go help RWBY. Screw you, Ironwood.
It might even be immediate.
I think that there's gonna be a third option, and that is doing what we're supposed to do right now. And that is where I see Winter. I see Winter like, well, that's unfortunate, but we're just gonna ignore that and go
I
get
have
the
an old lady I have to kill right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like Penny will be like, well, aren't we gonna go help RWBY? And then Winter will be like, I don't know. But right now, we have to go make sure that the Winter Maiden is safe. And then Penny will be like, yeah, okay.
And Penny goes with Winter.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I'm more on both of them being team...
Fuck this.
Doing what we were already doing and forgetting about Ironwood for the time being.
I think Winter is team forgetting about whatever nonsense RWBY and Ironwood are about and doing what we have to do and killing an old lady. I think Penny will be like, I have to save RWBY.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said yesterday in the stream. Like, I said yesterday in the stream that Penny would sort of leave and then Winter... Because think about it, right? If there is going to be a Cinder versus Winter fight, okay, Penny has to fuck off because Penny's too strong. So I feel like narratively that also makes a lot of sense. Like for Penny to be like, well, I gotta go help Team RWBY.
I also feel like
Winter
fine
would getting agree. The powers, I guess.
Because like when you think about Winter's like feeling of like, listen, you don't have to follow what your dad said either. Lord knows I didn't. So I feel like they'd have an understanding. I
agree. I think that that's actually nice. So I would say,
well, I think that she won't care.
Yeah.
What Ironwood is doing right now because she has
her whole priority, right? Like, I'm supposed to be the Winter Maiden. And doesn't she, like, she said earlier, I'm choosing my own destiny.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Winter says that, and so I feel like that's something that plays into it. She's like, I'm not gonna worry about Ironwood or whatever's going on right now. If it's my choice to be the Winter Maiden, I'm gonna focus on me right now, sis. Like, I feel like that's what she's gonna say.
I also think
so, yeah, I am $80 sure of Penny leaving, especially for the narrative reason of Penny has to leave so Cinder can whoop Winter's ass, because if it's Penny and Cinder, or Penny and Winter versus Cinder, I feel like Penny's really OP.
Unless Cinder has already offed the Winter Maiden, taken her powers, but I don't think that's likely to happen.
No, she has to wait for Winter to get there, right? She's following her.
Yes, yeah,
she's
that's
following
true.
Winter into the room, so I feel like Penny will leave and go help RWBY, and then Winter will continue on.
And then they have a maiden op. I feel like for a maiden fight, that's a weird place to have it in like a really small room.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope they like, I don't know. I think like in the streets of a maiden fight in the streets of Atlas where there's well, think about it, where there's like traffic and people running and they're like flying, like jumping off of skyscrapers. I think that would be a really cool place to put it. Sure. But they're in the like in a bunker underground.
Or just even around the school, like just around.
So I think that could be a really good like near the end of the episode. We've talked previously that like Cinder walks in, she walks up to Freya, realizes Freya's dead, like, oh no, like, where's the power?
Yes, we talked about this.
Winter's in the background, and then that's the cut, and when we see them, they're shooting up the elevator shaft, throwing, like, missiles, I don't know, at each other, and then they start fighting.
I am $80 for Penny fucking off.
Yes, and
I am more like...
Team RWBY.
And then
Saving
with Winter, I'm, like, pretty confident that Winter's gonna do that, but then after she gets the maiden powers, what will she do? I don't think that matters this season, to be honest. I think that this season for Winter is going to mostly be focused on whatever's happening with Cinder and not Ironwood.
That's
I think.
Potential. Yeah, potentially. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is that everyone? Did we get everyone?
I think that's everyone. So that's where, in a couple days, we'll find out if we were right or not. Maybe Marrow is a terrible person. Maybe everyone's terrible. Good thing that we're not
betting actual money.
Hopefully, Penny. I don't have the $100 to spare. I don't want to finance your trip to see Arnold. Like,
oh boy. But yeah, I think that we have some pretty good guesses. I don't think that there's anyone
we'll see if we're
forgetting.
Right.
We'll see. Exactly. All right. So that's everything.
Imagine if we're 100% right.
That'd be great.
I'm
pretty sure on the Penny section and the Winter section, we're 100% right.
I think Penny, we're pretty right. I feel the most strong about Marrow, Penny, and Winter, and the Clover, not Clover, of Elm and those guys. It's Clover that I'm not
It's Clover that's being a tricky bitch. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
like
exactly.
That's where you're like, I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And we will see you guys later. Bye.